Today's video is about human respiratory system. If you find this video informative and useful, kindly like and subscribe my channel. Human respiratory system, it begins with the nose and nostrils. Then you have the pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli. So these are the parts of the respiratory system. So air passes through the nose, it moves here, finally comes to the pharynx and here to the larynx. This is the voice box, and finally it enters to the windpipe or trachea. Later this trachea divides into two known as a lungs, each lung. Further each bronchi divides into bronchioles, small branches known as bronchioles, and finally each bronchi divides into alveoli, and this is a diaphragm, the septum. The alveoli is also shown here, the enlarged portion of that. Let's go for the each one by one important parts of the respiratory tract. That's the nostril. So it is lined with hair, minute hairs which filters the dust particles. So the air is once it enters through the nose and it is inside the nostrils. So finally it is made warm and it enters to the pharynx. So it is a common passage for the food and air. And larynx. So larynx, below that you have the voice box. So next you find the epiglottis. So it is a flap like structure that covers the glottis, that is it prevents the entry of food into the trachea. That is the main work of epiglottis. So suppose when food particles while you are eating, when it enters the lung or trachea, you start to cough. So this next is a trachea. This is a windpipe or the trachea, the common word. Next is bronchi. The trachea divides into left and right branches into each lung, that called as bronchi. Then bronchioles. So they get divided into further finer small branches you called as bronchioles. So these bronchioles end as a balloon-like structure known as alveoli. So these alveoli are surrounded by a fine network of capillaries. So they help in exchange of gases. So alveoli are thin-walled and which facilitates a diffusion of oxygen into the blood. Next, the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So aerobic means it takes place in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic, it takes place in the absence of oxygen. So the end product here is carbon dioxide and water. So here the end product is ethanol and carbon dioxide. So these are seen commonly in all higher animals, including human beings, whereas here it is seen in the lower organisms like bacteria, yeast, microorganism. Most of the microorganism you find such type of respiration. Few questions are given. What are the main function of respiratory system? Just you can go through. What are alveoli? Then what is the role and function of alveoli? And next is to complete the following: pharynx, then larynx, then trachea, then it is bronchi, then bronchioles, then alveoli. So sometimes they may give you, write it in the particular proper order. This was already asked